Oh yeah, come in.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Cambridge CCTV Live. I'm Maurice Wilkie, and we actually do this. Well, we used to do this all the time. I used to do a show called Spring Affair.
Okay.
I'm not expecting you to be able to know because that actually, it's maybe been a year. I'm Maurice Wilkie, but you do know that. And I am joined by a great artist. She's a singer, songwriter, teacher, award winner, musical theater performer. You were in The Color Purple. We're going to talk about that. And you were featured in a lot of great articles. But welcome to the CCTV Live studio, lovely Hoffman.
Thank you for having me, Maurice.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
No, thank you very much. I was actually discussing with you earlier the happenstance by which I came across your music, which is amazing music, by the way. If you haven't, we're going to actually get a chance to showcase some of your music today.
Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. You do two great songs. I'm sure there's like a lot more.
Yes.
But before we get to those great songs, two of them, My Black is Beautiful and a Kwanza song, Happy Kwanzaa to everybody. We are in the Ujama Day, which is
Yeah.
Cooperative Economics.
Cooperative economics. Happy
Yes.
Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa to everybody. It actually started Tuesday.
Yep.
We actually just getting our if you're getting your feet wet with Kwanzaa, we might talk a little bit about that as well today too. And so I welcomed you, and you are from neighboring Roxbury, right?
Yep. Not too far.
Not too far.
Roxbury,
And
born and raised.
really, okay.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What was your journey like? Tell us, who is Lovely Hoffman?
Well, I like to consider myself a singer-songwriter,
Mm-hmm.
educator, activist.
Whoa.
And I just love music, and I love my people, my community. So what I love to do as a performer and educator is I like to kind of blend both worlds, because I think it's really important for us to, as musicians and artists, to reflect the times, as Nina Simone says. So yes, that's me.
Wow.
Singer-songwriter.
You hold back because you have actually a lot of things that there was a lot. You mentioned a lot of different hats.
Yes.
I mean, you're a teacher, you're an actor, singer. I mean, you've done stuff in music studios. If I'm getting too far ahead of myself, you used to record in your own dorm as a music artist.
I did. So when I was in college, I was still a writer, singer, songwriter,
Mhm.
and not having all the funds to go to the recording studio could be really costly.
Yep.
So myself and my manager, we set up shop right in our dorm room, and we would record music between classes and write songs.
Wow.
It's always been a passion of mine.
That is amazing. That's cool. I mean, that's inspirational. I mean, talk about economics. You just like doing it right there.
Yep, doing for self.
And now, were you doing any musical stuff in school at the time too, or?
Yeah, I actually recorded a song called "Can't Wait" when I was in college, and it actually reached the top 10 on the college radio charts.
Oh, sure.
Which is a song I did record in my dorm room.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That, I mean, weren't the acoustics? Did that ever play like a hard thing, having to like make your room kind of like just soundproof?
We had to make sure it was soundproof, so we put the appropriate padding on the wall in the closet.
That is
Yeah.
so like going to your one of your songs that I find really appealing. My Black is Beautiful.
Mhm.
It actually talks about esteem, self-esteem for young women. Did that particular song resonate for you? Any reason that you wrote that particular song?
Well, Maurice, I've been teaching for over 10 years.
Okay.
And in my experience as being an educator, I would often see young black girls teasing each other based off of the way they looked. And I would also see that many of the young girls struggle with low self-esteem. So I wanted to do something about that. So I decided one Saturday to call 12 of my 7th, 8th grade students on a Saturday, 8-hour day to
Whoa.
shoot this music video. And we talked about the story and the song and the message behind the song. And the video was born. So the video was a way for me to empower young girls, to let them know that they're beautiful. It doesn't matter which shade of black you are, which is something we've dealt with in our community for a long time.
Sure.
I'm sure this is something that you can speak to your grandmother about, or your
Absolutely,
grandparents about,
absolutely.
the elders in your family, and they'll tell you that colorism has been a major issue in our community.
Sure.
And not just colorism, things about like our hair texture, our facial features. So I wanted to make sure that our children understood the importance of self-love. And I really believe that when children feel good about themselves and when they're confident, they can do anything.
Wow.
That transfers to all aspects of their life.
That's amazing. That is wonderful. That is, I mean, I love. No truer words have been spoken. So you definitely found the connection from between their, as a teacher, seeing self-esteem affecting the, things like their grade performance and just in class performance. Yeah. I'm also impressed by the fact that you got seventh and eighth graders that do something on a Saturday
morning, and they were amazing. They were really amazing. And I also had struggled with self-esteem myself, so I knew what many of the young girls were facing. Because when we look at the television, we look in the magazines, we look in the media, we don't see the diversity of blackness and black beauty reflected in our media. We oftentimes will see one type of blackness, if any blackness at all.
At all. It's funny that you mentioned that. Like one of the reasons I think indirectly that I got into media myself is like when I was like growing up. I'm assuming I'm a little bit older than you, but I used to like always watch these vacation commercials, and it always showed people on vacation, and nobody on vacation ever looked like me.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, does anybody that looks like me ever go on vacation? And that was just like such a weird thing.
Right.
Now you're a teacher. Did you ever have any inspirational teachers growing up for you? Were there any teachers that you could name that inspired you?
Well, yeah, I actually had this guy. His name is Jerry Howland. He was amazing.
Here in Boston? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was actually named Massachusetts Teacher of the Year.
Oh, wow.
But he was...
how lucky are you?
Yeah, he's amazing. He was an attorney and a math teacher. He was just really amazing. And he recruited me to be part of the mock trial team, which also was something that really helped my confidence, because he kind of just forced me to like understand the law, and actually we would have to argue legal cases in front of attorneys and real judges. So it was really good. So he was pretty amazing. But I've also had people like in my church and from my community that has inspired me. My sister has inspired me, Toya Hoffman Lewis. She's a minister now. And she always like told me the importance of like loving yourself and looking good and presenting your best self to the world. So there's been so many people that have inspired me.
Oh wow! Any you kind of touched upon like singers. You mentioned Nina Simone. Any other singers that kind of like struck a chord with you?
Yeah, I love Nina Simone. I love what she stands for. I also love India Ari, because I think her music is beautiful, and I think
what is it? Not My Hair.
I Am Not My
Hair. Yes, that was one of her songs.
I love Nina Simone, and I love India Ari.
Very cool. Well, we love you for being here. So kind of shifting to your like acting. I mean, it seems like you're like everything's interwoven. But did you become a teacher first? Did you become an actor first, or a singer? Did you all kind of like do them all at the same time?
Well, my father is a minister.
Okay.
So I started singing in church.
Oh.
So I've been singing since I was young.
Okay.
And so my singing evolved into acting, which evolved into like songwriting, and everything just kind of like worked itself out.
Oh wow! So that like they are definitely all layered together, and like a lot of singers start in church.
And then when I went to college, I was able to minor in music.
Oh.
So.
Very cool. That's good. So
I studied music in college.
It was always with you. Now I kind of touched upon the fact that you were in a Color Purple musical, and for those people who don't necessarily remember the Color Purple movie, it was a film. Alice Walker was the author. Was turned into a movie based on her book, and it was then it was a stage play. So you had people like Whoopi Goldberg playing her on the screen, and Fantasia in New York on Broadway, and then you playing it here locally.
Yes.
How did that even come about that you were, just like, hey, I'm going to do that Color Purple thing?
Well, I love the story of the Color Purple. I had read the book and fell in love with the story, and definitely related to the character and many of the things that the character had gone through. Celie, which is the lead role that I played in the New England premiere. And I just connected so much with the character and the story, and how the character transformed by the end of the story, and how it was through knowledge of self and knowing her worth, and her being able to define herself, that she was transformed and became such a powerful woman in her community. So she went from someone who was abused and who really struggled with like self-love because of her upbringing, and then as she grew older, she grew into this beautiful, just powerful woman who really had transformed by the end of the story. So I loved her story.
Now you mentioned a couple of things: knowledge of self, themes of beauty.
Yes.
Did any of those portrayals on stage, spark anything in you to say, something? Maybe you didn't think about it at the time, but did turn into the song "My Black Is Beautiful"? Did that actually even help you, then to then think about writing a song like that?
Absolutely. I think because these are all experiences that I've had dealt with, whether it was on
Okay.
a stage, whether it was like in the classroom with my students,
Okay.
or whether it was myself growing up and dealing with these issues.
Hmm.
So I just felt like the song was just so important. And since releasing the song, the reception has been amazing. Like,
Okay.
I did not expect. I mean, I know the importance of like being truthful as an artist, and I
Mhm.
believe when you're truthful, that's when you get the best out of everything.
Mhm.
But I've gotten so much great reception from people throughout the country. I mean, when I tell you like some of the stories I've heard from women and men and mothers and teachers, it's just so heartfelt.
Can we pause those great thoughts about that song and actually listen to the song itself? And we can come back.
Absolutely.
We can take a break and listen to the song, and then we can come back. You can share some of those sentiments that people actually gave.
And let me know what you think.
Oh yeah.
Let me know what you guys think.
All right. So there we go.
Look at her hair, look at her braids, look at her eyes, look at her nose, look at her fro. But it's all upon me. Look at her face, look at her skin. It's either too dark or it's too light. Her complexion's not right. But it's all upon me. Who are you to say that I'm not beautiful? It's your own insecurity. Because I know and I believe my black is beautiful, beautiful. My black is beautiful. My black is beautiful, beautiful. Look at her size, look at her weight. She is too curvy. She is too slim, or even too thin. But it's all upon me. Hear how she talks, what does she mean? She has an accent I don't understand. I can't comprehend. But it's all upon me. Who are you to say that I'm not beautiful? It's your own insecurity. Because I know and I believe my black is beautiful, beautiful. My black is beautiful. My black is beautiful, beautiful. Whoa, whoa. My black is beautiful, beautiful, so beautiful. My black is beautiful, beautiful. In life, there's one thing you should remember: that love of self is more precious than anything else. Precious than anything else. In life, there's one thing you should remember: that love of self is more precious than anything else. Precious than anything else. In life, there's one thing you should remember: my cheeks, my eyes, my nose, everything about me. Precious than anything else. My skin, my size, my heels, my fro. There's one thing you should remember: that love yourself is so precious, beautiful, so beautiful. I'm like it's beautiful, beautiful. I'm like it's beautiful, beautiful, so beautiful. I'm like it's beautiful,
Okay, I like that so much. My Black is Beautiful. We are back on this Ujama Day, Cooperative Economics with lovely Hoffman. And so you were actually about to share, or you kind of like hinted at a lot of the response to that song. I love the song.
Thank you.
And in case you don't know, she is a local artist. She's from the greater Boston area, from Roxbury.
Yes.
And so you were sharing the response to the song.
Yeah, so I actually had a response from one of my students who I taught over 10 years ago.
Mm.
And she commented on YouTube and she said, "Oh my goodness, it was because of you that as a teacher that I was comfortable in the black skin that I'm in.
Whoa.
So she said thank you, and then other women have said things like, "Oh my goodness, I can't imagine how things would have been different if I had a teacher who taught me that my black was beautiful,
Wow.
to accept myself, you know." So those are the types of stories that I hear that are just kind of like,
That is cool.
you know what, this is pretty amazing.
So you did get kind of like get validation to like, you know, something
Right.
that must have been doing something right. I was like reading some
Right.
quotes like 5-year-old daughter's favorite song.
Mhm.
One of my teachers, one of the best teachers my son's ever had by one of the, you know,
Mhm.
the parents. Do you ever kind of like say to yourself, do you ever like choose one or the other, like I love teaching better this moment, or like I love teaching better than I love singing, better than I love acting, or is this just like all part of you?
You know, it's interesting because you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, like, you know, as an educator, sometimes you think like, oh, you know, I want to be performing right now, and then
Mhm.
sometimes when I'm performing, I'm like, I miss my students.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's all good. It's balanced, you know. And I feel like when I'm around children, they give me a lot of strength. You
Oh.
know, they keep me young. They keep
Well, like
me
the song
fresh.
you say, it says like it's all a part of you.
Yeah.
So I love another quote that's on your website. It says one of your quotes is creativity takes courage. And so how did you actually arrive at that mantra?
Yeah, that is definitely. I was just speaking to my students about that. We
Mhm.
had I went to a concert, and many of them were nervous, and they were
Mhm.
so like scared to go on stage. And
Mhm.
a lot of times, as an artist, like first of all, you're creating work,
Yeah.
and then you're like putting yourself out there.
Mhm.
And oftentimes, even on social media, like you will see people having a lot of people like the song. Most people really love the song, but then
Yep.
you have some people who are like can be really negative sometimes.
Mhm.
But my thing is that it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of strength to be able to put yourself out there and just, you know, receive whether the positive comes in or negative comes in, for you to just continue to be persistent, you know, and consistent with what you do. So I just think it takes a lot of courage for an artist, because a lot of times people are so easy to criticize or to kind of just sit back and judge, but they oftentimes don't have the guts to put themselves out there, whether it's dance, whether it's singing,
That's true.
or acting, whatever it is. And even as an actress, we oftentimes we have reviewers come out, Boston Globe, Herald, huge reviewers will come out and see the show. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, you know what, like, it's not about them. It's about the story. And it's about the people who come to see the show and people who are moved and touched by the stories that are being shared.
I'm always amazed and always, you know, thrilled when artists do put themselves out there. Musicians, I love
Yeah.
live music. Artists that put their work on canvas.
Right.
It takes, because you're actually, yeah, you said it right there. Like you put yourself out there.
Right.
You're sharing something that is personal to you, or you know, a creative idea.
Right.
When you know you're up to possibly getting somebody to say that's a bad idea or that's a bad
Exactly.
performance, but you're willing to, like, you know, go past that, go beyond that,
Right.
to say, you know, something, my portrayal of this is worth at least exploring.
Exactly.
My interpretation of this work is at least
Right.
exploring. Do you you touched upon Nina Simone, you touched upon India Ari. Now, are there anybody? I mean, well, India Ari is kind of present. Anybody else currently that you're listening to that gives you creative influence?
I love Nas.
Oh,
He's my
okay.
favorite artist.
Hip-hop?
Tupac, of course, yes.
Okay.
I love Nas. I love that he, as an artist, that he presents. He has a lot of balance in his music. Of course, old school like KRS-One.
Yep. You must learn.
Talib Kweli.
Oh, yeah. He was supposed to come. I don't know if he actually came or not. He was supposed to be coming to the Boston area pretty soon, if he hasn't already done
Okay.
so.
So I like Talib, and I also like Be Humble.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, yeah, well,
Kendrick
Kendrick.
Lamar, Be Humble.
I just saw that the other day.
Yes.
So if you could ever sit down, I mean, like, give me, like, maybe you gave a couple, your top three, if you ever could just collab with, who would you want to collab? It's like, all right, you just got, like, you know, crystal ball, you can look into the future, and you can get maybe 3 wishes. Anybody you want to work with in the world?
Definitely Nas.
Okay.
I love Nas.
Okay.
Who else do I like? There's so many artists I respect. I love Solange.
Oh.
Don't touch my hair, it's feelings. I like her.
Okay.
Solange is cool. I vibe with her. Who else? It's just so many. I'm just like Stevie Wonder, of course.
Okay.
He's just
okay.
like
Who's actually also worked with India.
royalty.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's true. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, that's a pretty good 3. 2 just to start with. So Once again, we are, featuring lovely Hoffman, not just because of "My Black Is Beautiful," which is an amazing song, but because you did another great song, and I thought it was actually this year. You did it last year
Yeah.
in 2016. You did the Kwanzaa song. So we're going to get to that in just a second.
Yes.
Is there a particular formula for lovely Hoffman in the creative process?
It varies. I mean,
Okay.
it really does. Like sometimes I'm driving, I'm like thinking, and all of a sudden I'll come up with a melody, and I'm like,
Okay.
let me record this melody on my phone before I forget it. Or other times I'm at the piano and I'm like just playing different chord progressions, chords. I'm like,
Oh.
I come up with something, you know.
Oh.
And then sometimes I'm touched or moved by an incident, like in the case of Black Lives Matter song that I wrote,
Mm.
and I'm like, you know what, I need to write. It's like I need to get it out. Like some people like to talk, some people like to write in their journal. I like to write songs.
Your music is right on time, especially, I mean, not just with "My Black Is Beautiful." I mean, obviously, because of the times that we are in, it's not necessarily, I guess, chic, or it's not necessarily, I mean, pride in self should always be not something you have to actually run away from.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that you're putting somebody else or somebody else's,
Absolutely.
ethnicity down, or somebody else's, just background down.
Yeah.
You're just taking pride in of that.
Yes.
And you mentioned a little bit about the negativity. So I applaud you for this,
Thank you.
especially in the wake of a lot of our unfortunately untimely deaths, whether it's Eric Garner, Tamir
Yeah,
Rice,
that's right.
unfortunately, etc., and hopefully nothing to come. So I love the fact that you're pursuing that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Keep doing that.
That means a lot. Thank you.
And so you get your inspiration to do your songs in your car. You write recording beats and stuff. I try to do that.
Are you a
And-
producer?
in my head, not necessarily. I don't know. When I get to the room and I get to the things, I have a really messy kind of a thing going on.
That's okay.
One of my resolutions for 2018: clean the room,
Yeah.
and, break away from the clutter and get yourself to focus.
Mm-hmm.
But a Kwanzaa song,
Yeah.
what? I mean, I've really not heard of a whole lot that jumped off the page. I just happened to play yours in a response to somebody challenging me to
Really?
find a Kwanzaa song, and I happened to find yours.
Yes.
So what made you create? What gave you the creativity for that song?
Well, Kwanzaa, first of all, is like my favorite holiday.
Oh,
I love
okay.
Kwanzaa. I love
Okay.
seeing people in the community come together and
Okay.
celebrate our heritage and our richness.
Okay.
So
Can I pause you? For those people who don't know, and you should, there's 7 principles, 7 days of Kwanzaa, starting the day after Christmas.
December 26th
Yes.
to January 1st.
Yes.
Yes.
And don't ask me to say all 7 Nguzo Saba principles. I usually get stuck on maybe 3 or 4.
I got Umoja.
Okay.
It's in the song. That's why you create a song, because through music you can learn as well.
Yeah.
So Umoja, the first principle, unity. Kuji Chakalia,
Leah,
self-determination. What's the next one?
Ujima.
What's that?
Oh, you would ask me. I got the name of it right.
Collective.
Works and responsibility.
Okay.
Ujama,
Uh-huh.
which is, I mentioned, cooperative economics.
Yep.
Um,
You know it.
I don't.
Nia.
Purpose.
Okay.
Your
It's in the
mind.
language of Kiswahili.
True.
Okay, Nia. Kumba.
Oh, now I'm really stuck.
Okay, so I'm not going to tell you the answer. Think about me as an artist. What do you have to be to? You have to be what to be an artist? You have to be very what? Begins with a C.
Creative.
Yes.
Okay.
Kumba. Imani.
Faith.
Yes.
Keep the faith.
Nia, Kumba, Imani. Yes.
So I got maybe 6 out of 7.
No,
I'm
you were
working on.
good.
I'm working on it.
90%.
And there's actually, for those who don't know, there's also a celebration of Kwanzaa
Yes.
today going on throughout the Boston area. There's actually one today in Cambridge.
Right.
Not too.
Oh, there is?
Yes, there's going to be one at the Jose Mateo Theater.
Oh,
I'm actually going to be going down there around
amazing.
5:30 today.
And I'm going to one in Boston at the mosque.
Oh, okay.
The Black Community Information Center. I don't know if you know
Yes, I
Sadiq
do.
Kimbone.
Yes, I do.
He's like my godfather. He years ago organized a community in which multiple organizations in Boston host a different principle of Kwanzaa every night.
Mhm.
So tonight is going to be at ABCD, I believe, on Warren
Yeah.
Street,
Okay.
hosted by Muhammad's Mosque.
Really?
So I'm going to be there.
Oh, very-
Singing a Kwanzaa song.
oh, really?
To some children.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, please record that and share that with us. I would love to actually, just get to see what the reaction of people would be for that particular performance this evening. So let's check out your Kwanzaa song. Why don't we do that right now? We're going to check out the Kwanzaa song, which again is by Lovely Hoffman. And you are watching CCTV, Cambridge Community Television. And let's see if we can make our magic happen.
collective work and economic opportunity. Yeah, purpose is what we need, and creativity. Faith is what we really need. Moja, yeah. Ujichagulia.
I love that. Love that.
Thank
Very
you.
cool. Great song.
Thank you.
And a lot of cameos by some people that I actually recognize.
Okay.
I remember seeing my man Vernon C. Robinson,
Yes.
VCR.
My brother.
And there was other people in the video. Who else was in that video? Brandon was in the video
Brandon
too.
was in the video.
Give him a big shout out.
Mother Paula Core is in it.
Oh,
Mother Paula Core.
oh, that's right.
See her and her sister, Sister Furman, her husband.
And just the sites all over, like
Roxbury.
Roxbury were really cool, especially the murals that you showed. I love the Frederick Douglass mural. I was like, and I'm thinking, I have to think to myself, well, I know where I've seen it. Where is it?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I know where it is off of Tremont, and you were over by the Afro American Institute because I
Yeah,
remember
the
the big
Eternal
head.
Presence, the big head. You see that in Walnut Ave?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've been there. What other places? I mean, do you work on the locations? Because I love the cinematography. Did you work on any of that yourself? Or?
Well, my manager and I
map it out?
came with the concept, of course. You had to kind of create a storyboard of like what you want. So like, you definitely wanted to make sure we showcase the art from Roxbury and Boston because it has such a rich history
True.
of black people. I
Okay.
know when I went to college, people were like Boston black people. I'm like,
Yeah.
actually, like, we have a really rich black history
Yes.
in Roxbury. So we wanted to showcase that, but we also wanted to make sure we incorporated the Nguzo Saba. So you see that we in the seven candles, the Kanara and everything.
Yes.
So
I won't forget them now. I won't forget Kumba now. And I shouldn't have. I don't know what.
It's okay.
And so, like the response to My Black is Beautiful, has there been
Yes.
an equal positive response to
Definitely.
Kwanzaa songs?
It's amazing how, like, I don't know, I just really appreciate like the ancestors and the creator for like always like implanting in me like what needs to happen, because there was a void, like you said, there was not a lot of Kwanzaa songs. And so I get every time it's Kwanzaa season, I get emails from teachers across the country always saying, we want to sing this song with our students. We have 1,000 children. We have Hanukkah songs, we have Christmas songs, we don't have Kwanzaa songs. This is perfect. And I'm always, corresponding with them and
So it goes back
helping
to
them
teaching.
out.
That's
It's
interesting.
always like, even I had one teacher from Japan.
Wow.
I guess they were from the United States, but they were teaching in Japan, and they were teaching children about the different holidays in America. So
Wow.
so I always like countless emails.
That is
I'm
great.
always in contact with teachers.
Does it ever get kind of
educators.
like overwhelming? You're like, wow, it's like these things touch your heart, but then then you see the response that comes back, like, whoa.
Yes, it's very rewarding, and it's very like it is very confirming. It's like it shows me like affirming, and it really shows me that like what I'm doing is needed.
What does Lovely Hoffman do? Like, I mean, it doesn't sound like you have any off time or any downtime. Do you actually have any time like when that it's not creative based?
Yes, I love the outdoors.
Okay.
I love biking.
Even right now?
Hiking. I love biking. I love hiking.
Okay. I know you're not doing it in this weather. I hope you're
Well,
not.
actually, I did go ice skating the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, shout out.
So I
Okay.
love the outdoors.
Okay.
I love traveling.
Okay.
I have a good friend. She says, spend your money on experiences and not material things.
Mm.
And that's what I love to do. I love
Okay.
to do like I love to create. I love to play the piano. But I definitely love like the outdoors, biking, hiking, reading,
Okay.
of course.
Have you been? Did you say that you already had been to Africa?
Yeah, I've been to Africa 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you ever do any collaborations or work overseas in Africa?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've been to Senegal, Ghana, and Uganda.
Oh wow. 3 places
And my
I'd love
dad
to
is
go.
from Liberia,
Oh.
so I'm trying to get over there soon. I haven't gone yet, but I would definitely love to collaborate with artists in Africa. Absolutely, I'm open to that.
Okay, well maybe there is a lovely Hoffman over there looking to like work with this lovely Hoffman here, and you guys can like make an amazing like earth-shattering kind of like sound that we actually definitely could all need to embrace.
Yep, and actually, a lot of African people have said we love My Black is Beautiful. They like the song. So
Good.
I'm like, yes.
So in 2018, which is literally just around the corner, what can we expect from you?
I will be releasing new music.
Wow.
And my goal is I'm working on this one woman show. I've just finished. I wrote it. Now I'm workshopping it. Like I want to start workshopping it this year. And I'm also like working on some other plays as well.
So workshopping it means you'd have to like kind of like actually physically go on the stage
To
and
actually
do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe doing small like excerpts of the musical.
Wow.
Play musical.
So would that play involve singing as well?
It's singing. And
Oh, wow.
It's a play with music. It's
Oh,
a one-woman
man.
show. I won't reveal it yet.
All right,
but
but please, I mean, if you do happen to be still in the Cambridge area and not
Uh-huh.
necessarily, on Broadway by then, please stop by CCTV and like just share a little bit of it when you do have a
Yeah.
moment.
Definitely, I would just like to say, everyone just check me out. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
I was just about to say, how can people
Facebook.
connect with you? Facebook?
Facebook, Instagram.
Okay.
YouTube. Subscribe to my channel because every time I release things, you'll get a notification.
So
on
youtube.com/Lovely Hoffman.
Yeah. And buy the music. Purchase the music
Okay.
on iTunes. My Black is Beautiful. It's wonderful. Dr. King's birthday's coming up. Black History Month. We celebrate it all year long, of course. But
Right.
like, if you want something, definitely check out the music. Kwanza song is on iTunes as
Okay.
well.
Do you have your
So
own
just
personal
support.
website? Or?
Yeah, lovelyhoffman.com.
Okay, well make
So
sure.
check me out.
Please check her out, lovelyhoffman.com. Once again, on this Ujamaa Cooperative Economics Friday. We hope you have a good, safe weekend. Hopefully you stay, warm. You mentioned, and I'd like to mention it again, the Kwanzaa celebration that's going on tonight in Boston.
It's going to be at, I believe, the ABCD building on
Okay.
Warren Street. But
Okay.
if not, check it out. Go to BCIC, the Black Community Information Center.
Okay.
And they'll tell you about the list of the different locations.
Do you happen to know what time that's going to happen? Or?
7 p.m.
Okay. Well, if you're in Boston, you want to check that out, do that. If you're in Cambridge, please stop by the Jose Mateo Theater, which is on Mass Ave, just before you get to Harvard Square. Check out Cambridge's Kwanzaa celebration. You might see me there. I might actually be doing a little DJing as well. So, I'm definitely going to play your song if that's okay with you.
Of course.
All right. So we'll definitely share that with and I did buy it, by the way.
you.
So I'll definitely share it with the audience. So I thank Lovely Hoffman. Thank you so much for
having me.
coming.
This is great.
Oh,
It was
our pleasure.
It was so chill and
Well, that's what we try to do. I mean,
like that.
I was doing this weekly. I'm going to try to get back to doing this weekly. To focus on artists, local artists like such as yourself, local music, local events. Feel free if you definitely have anything that's local or local based to email me. You can do it at maurice.wilkie, or you can actually do it at CCTV. Just directly email to CCTV. They'll actually contact me, and we'll make it happen. We'll get you on the air. All right.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone who supports me and have always followed me and just been so kind and beautiful. So thank you for love.
You have the heart and the inspiration and the soul. You're always teaching and sharing, no matter what. So I have no doubt that we're going to hear and see bigger things from you in years to come.
Yeah,
so
you.
don't forget us.
No.
All right.
Never that.
All righty. Cool. So we're gonna. Do you have another song that we could actually focus and play on our way out?
Yeah, I mean, I have a song called Black Lives Matter.
Oh.
And
Perfect.
It's a lyric video.
All right. Well, actually, can we go to that?
Yeah.
We're gonna try to do that. And now, what was the I don't need to ask what the inspiration was for that, but how long did it take to? Does it take a long time to put these together?
It depends. No, it didn't take really long to write this song because I was just kind of going at it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's this right here, the lyric.
This one here or this one here?
This one.
Oh.
This one.
Oh, let me go back.
That's good. Perfect.
This one? All right. Well, we'll go to that one. We'll switch it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wish it all would go away because it's crippling my faith. this will end. Black lives matter. I sing it loud through the tears in hearts that shattered. We matter. Black lives matter. We sing it loud through the tears in hearts that shattered. We matter. We matter, matter, matter. We matter, matter. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Today will be the day we will stand for what is righteous, and with truth on our side, we must lift our voice and say, Black lives matter. We sing it loud, standing proud. I stand empowered. We matter. Black lives matter. We sing it loud, standing proud. I stand empowered. We matter. We matter, matter, matter. We matter, matter. We need justice now. We need equality now. We need love right now. We need peace right now. We need truth right now. We need sovereignty now. We need justice now. We need equality now. We need love right now. We need peace right now. We need truth right now. We need sovereignty now. We need justice now. We need equality now. We need love right now. Love right now. We need peace right now. We need truth right now. We need sovereignty now. I wish it all would fade away.
Wow. Can I ask you quickly before I let you go? Oh man, my goodness! Just in case people didn't know, let's see. Just in case, yeah, lovely Hoffman. I love that. That was an amazing song. Who was the guitarist with you, joining you there?
Well, that's in the video you saw my brother Will Jones.
Oh, like your
Yeah.
your.
A was my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. I mean, just like I could hear the gospel that you brought out of that.
Yeah.
I just the passion and just great music.
Thank you.
I wish I'd known about that, so I know about it now.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Definitely. Thank
Well,
you.
and shout out to all the music that you do and all the music that you will do.
Thank you so much, brother.
All right, very
you so
cool.
much.
Well, that wraps up and concludes us for a Friday. You can check me out next week, next Friday. Hopefully, it'll be New Year's 2018.
Yeah.
It's so
Can you
weird.
believe it?
Yeah, this has been a weird year.
Very interesting year.
I think I think this is probably the best way I could possibly end it. One of the best ways I could end it. I'm gonna hopefully end it. I mean, I still got a few more days. We'll see what happens, but this is definitely a good way. Shout out to all the folks that joined me on Instagram, that looked online at cctvcambridge.org. You can always stream us live. And yeah, I think this is a good way to end our show. Thank you again.
Maurice. Peace and blessings.
Peace
Happy
and blessings to you.
Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa to you too. Ujama.